So today I'm going to be discussing the Parkland shooting, or more specifically, how it inspired more action instead of other previous shootings. So what I'm going to start with is some background information about the shooting itself. On Valentine's Day 2018, 19-year-old Nicholas Cruz entered Marjory Stoneman Douglas High School and shot and killed 17 of his peers and injured many more with an AR-15 assault rifle. So my arguments are that there were a lot of eyewitness accounts of the shooting itself, with police interviewing over 2,000 students that had witnessed the shooting. In addition to this, many of the students also posted to social media while the shooting was in progress, documenting what had happened in real time. This has been estimated to be the most eyewitness accounts ever in a school shooting. There's also the fact that many of the students that were victims of the shooting also became politically involved after it had occurred, namely student Emma Gonzalez. This kind of political involvement was not really present in previous school shootings, mainly because the victims of past school shootings were elementary school students or just teachers. They also managed to organize marches, rallies, and protests on such short notice on social media. And also other teens that were not victims of the shootings also became politically involved, giving them more of a voice. There's also the fact that the shooting was also closely documented, mainly by using phone cameras and Snapchat, which was taken by many students. These videos helped increase empathy or pathos to their cause. This form of pathos is very effective against students, teachers, and parents, as they could directly relate to what was happening. This also gave very detailed insight into what was happening during the shooting itself, which also helped to increase pathos. This kind of documentation was not present in previous school shootings. There are, however, counter-arguments against my thesis. For example, many state that there's a lack of sympathy towards the students that were victims of the shooting, mainly coming from those that are in positions of power in the government, namely Dinesh D'Souza, who had some very questionable tweets in regards to the students that were victims of the shootings. And they have also belittled those that were victims of the shootings and have not really taken them seriously at all. But the thing is, the lack of sympathy that was displayed by these government officials only helped these students gain sympathy from the general population and helped give them more of a fighting power with more voice and more action, because the lack of sympathy helped elicit pathos from the general population. So my conclusion is that the Parkland students really used pathos to their advantage as the main leverage of their argument, and many students also took political action, and they also used eyewitness accounts and organized protests and such. The limitations of this is that some might not take the students seriously, as I stated earlier, and this could also just be a short-term movement that quickly dies out in the next couple of months. And there's also a lot of pushback from those that don't support these students, mainly from the NRA and other such gun supporters. The implications of this is that this movement might have a significant impact on history, mainly in regards to gun reform and gun control. And this might even make a difference in government and society, seeing as how much action is being taken. And this also implicates that in the future, students might be more open to speaking their mind and their opinion and fighting to support that opinion. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, I got a couple of questions for you. All right,
so, how did your conclusion respond to any of the other research or sources you examined?
My conclusion kind of responded to the other sources I examined by kind of finding common points and conclusions and themes in between the sources and try to find a way that I could make that into a definite conclusion to my presentation.
Okay. How did you select the strategies you used to gather information or conduct your research, and were they effective?
The strategies I used to conduct my research were mainly to go to trusted sources, academic articles such as that, and it was very effective because this was a hot topic in today's society. So there were a lot of opinions, articles, stuff like that.
Okay. All right, thank you.